The King and the Unclean Servant by Trayvon Patton. Once upon a time, a long time ago, a dedicated, loyal, talented, courteous servant that had a foul-smelling odor presented himself at the feet of the king. "Here I am, my lord." The servant bowed as the awful scent pinched the king's nostrils. "My good man," the king choked, "you have a malodorous odor." "No, my lord, that must be the cupbearer," the servant replied. "Permit me to do thy bidding." "My good sir, you most certainly have an odor," the king replied. "Before you can represent me in any way, I need you to take a bath. My amenities are at your disposal." "Your worship, you must be mistaken," the servant replied. "It must be the fan-bearers." One of the fan-bearers, having become blue in the face by holding his breath, toppled to the ground and is quickly taken away. The king frowned. "I am 100% certain that it is you." "Even your wise men are rarely 100% certain," the servant replied. Another fan-bearer dropped to the ground. "Maybe I could help?" The servant took a step forward. "Do not help until you have taken a bath," the king exclaimed. "Here, use my royal sauna." The king clipped his fingers to have the bath prepared. "My servant, I have new robes, a new ring for you, even a golden crown at the ready." The servant, embarrassed at the suggestion of needing to be clean, huffed. "My lord, I am embarrassed to think my king wants me to take a bath when I am already clean and ready to do my master's will." "You want to know your master's will?" the king replied. "Yes, my lord, with all my heart," the servant exclaimed. The king pondered. "Very well, loyal servant. Go into town and invite those on the outside to join the festivities I have prepared for them." The servant, having been given his long-awaited assignment, skipped away from the palace on foot. His jubilant parade to the nearest town was soon joined by a group of adoring rodents. This he didn't mind until a group of skunks happily gave chase. Not long after that, word got out to the vultures and country flies nearby. Before long, every connoisseur of stink was marching briskly behind the loyal servant. "What terrible stretch of the imagination is this?" the servant gasped. "I must escape this parade of foul creatures before they vacate the entire town." The servant sprinted over the hill and through the thickets until he reached the town square. Hear ye, in the name of the king!" the servant shouted. However, everyone had already hid behind their doors. The servant's powerful odor had already announced his arrival before he mounted the soapbox in the town square. "Is anybody here?" the servant wondered. Someone quickly shuttered a window. Another slapped a "We're closed" sign on the front door of the Day and Night town pub. About a dozen shadows noisily scurried around to their hiding places. "Is this how you treat a representative of the king?" the servant shouted. A voice soon replied, "You look like you work for the king, but you smell terrible." Another croaked. "Like what sort of king would allow you to represent him smelling like that?" "What smell? I do represent the king," the servant gasped. "The king must be blind in both nostrils to let a man like you come skipping in here calling his name," another voice cackled. "How dare you impute the integrity of the king?" the servant replied. "You did it first with that foul-smelling odor of yours," another voice cracked. "What odor?" the servant roared. "Do I look like I smell? It is your town, filled with skunks and rodents and country flies." "Well, there you have it," the voice cackled. "Maybe they think you're one of 'em." The entire town erupted in laughter. The embarrassed servant, having remembered the words of the king, took off as fast as he could for the castle and knelt at a distance before the throne. "Lord, have mercy upon me," the servant cried. "I, your servant, confess I have an odor, but I know you can make me clean. I will take a bath. I will wash my hair. I will surrender my garments to the fire. I will help everyone else take a bath. Whatever it takes, my lord, make me yours." Have you ever been working all day not realizing that you had developed a bit of an odor? That happens to us all from time to time. Becoming unclean is a natural part of living. That is why we have soap, bathtubs, showers, face towels, shampoo, toothpaste, toilet tissue, and so many other things that allows us to be clean again. The problem comes when we do not recognize that we need to be clean, especially when we work for a most holy God. Imagine going to a 5-star restaurant for dinner and all of the friendly servers have a terrible odor. No matter how helpful or efficient they may be, this odor can cast a poor light on all of the great things that the restaurant is doing. Likewise, we can be doing all of the right things as servants of God. However, if we don't continually seek God's cleansing or heed his inspection of our hearts, we run the risk of being humiliated while casting a poor light on all of the great things God is doing in the world. Here are some scriptures that can help. Psalm 51:7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Titus 3:5. He saved us, not because of works done by us in righteousness, but according to his own mercy, by the washing of regeneration and renewal of the Holy Spirit. Hebrews 10:22. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, with our hearts sprinkled clean from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Since we have these promises, beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from every defilement of body and spirit, bringing holiness to completion in the fear of God. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with someone else, and do remember to like and subscribe. This will assist us in getting more of these stories around the world.